Welcome to Tamer Bowling Video Ball Reviews.
We need your support, so if you like what we do, please support us by joining our Patreon page. Don't forget to check out our partner Pureit Bowling at pureitbowling.com. Today we're testing the new Columbia 300 Savage Life. We are testing it on a 40-foot medium house shot and a 39-foot PBA Bear pattern. First impressions, the Savage Life is the real deal, another winner from Columbia 300. For value, we gave it a B+. It's a Pearl ASIM with a really nice motion. You can expect this score almost as a standard. Overall, we gave it a B+ on house shot, B+ on sport shot. Straight away, I feel really good about how this piece rolls. Just as we were impressed with the statement Pearl, this is close. Big picture, it's plenty strong enough for a medium house shot with strong down lane motion. This Savage core is pretty aggressive down lane. I don't quite see it as skid flip, but it is aggressive down lane for sure. So if I were to rank them, Statement Pearl would be the most aggressive off the spot, Savage Life would be next, and then probably the Ebonite Choice Pearl or Hammer Ripped Pearl, for example, would be the smoothest. For my game, this was a beautiful match. You can see the more direct lines I'm playing on this house pattern. That is playing a bit on the slick side, but it gave me no over-under there at all. It was strong enough to come off the spot consistently, and that's to the credit of the aggressive core blending nicely with the cleaner cover. The ball is also responsive enough to move in and finesse. It was interesting comparing to the solid Savage. That ball is also very responsive down lane. On the same line, it still strikes. Cover just slows it down enough to just be a bit earlier read while still being angular. You can also move in with the Savage and it still blends and drives. Jordan was next, and for him, the down lane responsiveness actually made it a bit more tricky. With his very low tilt and how aggressive the ball is, he had no hold missing in. He had to open up the angles a bit, but not so much. If he opens up and missed out, the ball kind of quits on him because it expends energy in a quick burst at the break point. So I guess it is kind of skid flip. He ultimately had what I would consider a kind of average look. The formula is maybe a bit too responsive and angular to match his game on this pattern. A longer pattern would make more sense, and it's pretty aggressive for him. When comparing to the original Savage, you can see the ball is stronger, but the blend that made it look really good for me made it over-under for him. It's clearly wanting to dig in, but then peters out and kind of dies. It's just too much ball for him on this volume. With that, we move on to Bryan, and we're kind of back to seeing a really good ball reaction. It really stored lots of energy for down lane motion, which seems pretty clear intent from Columbia 300 with the Savage Life. It's strong, so he had to move left enough to stay in the pocket with that big back end. The challenge Bryan had was pocket control. He couldn't miss in at all. The truth is, missing in was a recipe for going through the nose with this ball. The nice thing is it never really felt like the Savage Life wouldn't hook. For Bryan, the Savage was clearly stronger, but with very similar and recognizable shape. Yes, it's earlier, so it looks smoother. They do complement each other quite nicely. Our sport shot was a 39-foot bear pattern, and I really like the shape here as well. I like to use natural projection, so a ball that is responsive makes me more comfortable as I know it'll come off the spot. As this is not the easiest pattern, I would surely put some surface on it if I wanted to use it on the fresh. Otherwise, as it breaks down, this would look really good. On the other hand, the Savage was almost too strong to use at all on this sport pattern. It's very strong and responsive down lane. For Jordan, he had a pretty good look and some forgiveness. It's still a strong ball, but with the added back end of the sport pattern, he had miss room out. That flippiness of the Savage Life meant he couldn't really miss in at all. For Bryan, again, it's strong, and in this case, he takes advantage of the responsiveness to get good motion down lane. He had an option going up first or third arrow. Final thoughts. Bottom line, I really like the Savage Life. It has a nice spot in the EBI family. There are Pearl A sims in every brand, but this one differentiates from the others, giving you an option. When all is said and done, Columbia 300 has several really good balls in their lineup at the moment, and this definitely adds to the list.
I need to tell you what Tamer Elbaga reviews.
On this side, these guys are...